Hello, thanks for joining me as I show you how to make a wine soap with fruit and vegetables. Alright, so here we are pouring the mead into the pot. I will now show you how I made my purees. I will be using the strainer and I will be using my Ninja to chop up all the fruits and vegetables and make them nice and liquefied. So here we are. I've put some of my rhubarb into the blender and I'm just gonna let it do its work. I might have to add a little bit of distilled water in order to get this as fluid as I need it for the batch. And I'm just doing a voiceover here because it's noisy. My kids are home and they're noisy too. So I'm just doing a voiceover for this so that you guys can focus on the actual video. Okay, so I poured out the rhubarb and I'm just going to let it strain, and I'm going to actually get as much of the juice out as possible. And what I did was I actually froze the juice, so I will be making another soap batch with the juice that I filtered out. And I saved some of the pureed as well because I ended up with a lot. So here I am using a rhubarb stalk to pound the liquid out of there. And so I calculated for my 70-pound batch that I actually need, let's see, I forgot, I need about 9 ounces of the fruit. So I figured I'll get 3 ounces of each ingredient that I'm using. So I'm using the rhubarb, I'm using spinach, and I'm using red cabbage. That's my 4-year-old's hand there. And so now I'm going to measure this out. And now I'll do my spinach. And I saved this as well. I saved the pulp and I saved the juice for another batch of soap. And let's measure this out. I'm going for 2.95 to 3 ounces. And now I'll do the red cabbage. I love the color. Let's go ahead and measure this out. I'm going to do a little research to see why they call that red cabbage. So now I'm going to taste each thing. Here I am tasting the rhubarb, and it was really bitter, very almost like a lime flavor. And I'm tasting the spinach. And finally the red cabbage. So let's go downstairs and make some soap. So there's my first bag of wine that I've frozen. And I'm just going to pour that in there and add the lye to it. Alrighty, so I finally got a nice quiet house. So I'm going to start my first layer. I have my wine right here, and I have my oils ready to go for the first layer. Let's check the temperature of this. 117. And the fragrance that I decided to use is the Honey Almond Natural Essential Oil blend from Wholesale Supplies Plus. So I am going to hand stir this the entire way. So my oil is at 117, my lye is at 122. Just going to pour this in there. And there's a beautiful wine color all on its own. I'm going to add my puree. Let's see what happens. As you can see, it's turned into this brownish color. I'm really hoping to get some of the pink back once this goes through a gel phase. I don't know if that's going to happen. Add my essential oil. So I'm going to use this tool to create just a little bit of an interference on top of the soap so that when I do pour my layers, they stick and they don't separate. I've had the problem in the past where my layers would pop off and separate, so I don't want to have that happen. The original idea was to actually make like a zigzag pattern, but once I saw the texture of the soap, I realized that that wasn't going to work. But you know, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I wish I could have gotten that zigzag pattern, but I think I would have had to cut that tool in half in order to be able to use it in this size mold anyway, and I didn't want to do that. So I've got some alfalfa leaf just in case my spinach layer changes color on me. So let's see how it goes. I have a theory that the cabbage is going to turn blue. So I'm going to go ahead and start my next layer, which is the spinach layer. So I've got this beautiful green spinach color. Let's see what color it turns once I add it to the wine. See what happens. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this alfalfa leaf. What that looks like. Okay, so this is set up enough for me to take my texturing tool and apply the same texture that I did to my rhubarb layer. Alright, so my third and final layer is ready. And you've got the cabbage, the red cabbage. Let's go ahead and add it. And I was right. It is turning green. This is the most surprising layer of all, is turning a bright orange. And it actually smelled quite good even before I put the essential oil in. I just realized there was really no need for that anyway. Let's go ahead and see if we can give this a textured top. And in this very quick scene, I'm just showing you how I clean up my soaps by beveling them. Here are a few pics of the cut soap, and I really like the way they turned out, and they feel really great. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I definitely enjoyed making it and creating this project. I want to thank Amy for encouraging us to think outside the box and try new things. Good luck to all the entries, and I can't wait to see what you guys came up with. Have a great night.